Prosecutors Michael Cohen acted at Trump's direction when he broke the law. Federal prosecutors said for the first time Friday that Michael Cohen acted at the direction of Donald Trump when the former fixer committed 2 election-related crimes during the 2016 presidential campaign, as special counsel Robert Mueller outlined a previously undisclosed set of overtures and contacts between the Trump campaign and Russian nationals. Those revelations came in a set of court filings in which federal prosecutors in New York said Cohen should receive a substantial prison sentence of roughly 4 years for tax fraud and campaign finance crimes, and as Mueller's office accused the president's former attorney of lying to them about his contacts with Russia. Mueller's disclosures also exposed deeper entanglements than previously known between Trump, his campaign apparatus and the Russian government, including that a Russian national who claimed to be well-connected in Moscow spoke with Cohen in 2015 and offered political synergy with the Trump campaign. In August, Cohen pleaded guilty to 8 federal crimes after being charged by Manhattan federal prosecutors. Those included tax fraud, making false statements to a bank, and campaign finance violations tied to his work for Trump, including payments Cohen made or helped to orchestrate that were designed to silence women who claimed affairs with the then-presidential candidate. Trump has denied those claims. On Friday, prosecutors wrote,
"In particular, and as Cohen himself has now admitted, with respect to both payments, he acted in coordination with and at the direction of Individual 1.
Individual 1 is the term prosecutors have been using to refer to the president. The pair of memos from 2 sets of prosecutors reflected competing views of Cohen's utility to the federal investigations ahead of his scheduled sentencing on Wednesday. In their filing, prosecutors from the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office knocked Cohen's rose-colored view of the seriousness of his crimes, noting his years-long willingness to break the law.
He was motivated to do so by personal greed, and repeatedly used his power and influence for deceptive ends.
They wrote in a filing that also sought to puncture Cohen's public pronouncements of assistance in their investigations. Mueller's team acknowledged that Cohen provided useful information concerning certain discrete Russia-related matters core to its investigation, but also disclosed that he had initially lied to them about a proposed Trump Tower project in Moscow. Contact with Russians. In addition to the August case, Cohen was subsequently charged last week by the special counsel's office with 1 count of lying to Congress about the Moscow project. He pleaded guilty, disclosing that talks about the effort in Moscow had extended through June 2016, after Trump had become the presumptive Republican nominee for president, and that both Trump and his family members had been briefed on the discussions. Cohen also acknowledged pursuing plans to send Trump and himself to Russia in service of the project and discussing the proposed development directly with a representative of the Kremlin. The special counsel's Friday memo on the matter suggested that Cohen's and, by extension, Trump's intersection with Russians eager to aid the presidential campaign was more substantial than previously known, with the Russians anxious to put Trump face-to-face with their president. In one instance, Cohen spoke in November 2015 to a Russian national who offered synergy on a government level to the Trump presidential campaign and repeatedly proposed a meeting between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, according to court papers. The interest appears to have been reciprocal. Cohen told the special counsel that he had consulted with Trump about his interest in contacting the Russian government before suggesting in a radio interview in September 2015 that Trump meet with Putin during the Russian president's visit to New York City that fall. Cohen had previously claimed his comments on air were spontaneous, the court papers said, but he admitted to prosecutors that they came about after his discussion with Trump. That meeting never happened, nor did the one with the Russian national, although Cohen told the special counsel that was due to the fact that he was working on the Moscow project with a different individual who Cohen understood to have his own connections to the Russian government. Mueller's sentencing memo also provided the first explanation of the Trump Tower Moscow project's relevance to Russia's interference during the 2016 campaign. According to the special counsel, Cohen's false statements to investigators about the Trump Tower Moscow project
obscured the fact that the Moscow project was a lucrative business opportunity that sought, and likely required, the assistance of the Russian government.
That Cohen continued to work on the Trump Tower Moscow project and discuss it with Trump was material to both the ongoing congressional and special counsel investigations, prosecutors said, noting in particular that
it occurred at a time of sustained efforts by the Russian government to interfere with the U.S. presidential election.